Tonito Samuel. I want to tell you how much excited I am every day that I have to do this. I want to say very good morning to all of you. A very super great morning. Thank you all. Thank you all for the time that you always would give to joining us and doing these that we do with you every day. So welcome to another beautiful edition of Mindshift Programming. I want to say big thank you to all of you for taking your time to tune in with us. Thank you all for, because without you, we can really not do this. So we want to really appreciate all of you who take your time to ensure that we are here doing what we know how to do best. And I want to say a very big thank you once again for those who tune in and who, in one way or the other, this show, this concept, this program titled Mindshift Programming has been able to impact your life. I want to say to you that it's because of you that I get all the excitement that we get to come here on a daily basis. So trust me, you rock. You truly, truly rock. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to knock at your door every day, Monday to Friday. And of course, you give us the encouragement to do what we do here every day. Now, right now, I want to quickly go straight into what I believe has been a great thing that we've been talking about since inception. Don't forget that today is Wednesday, and today's hashtag Women's Wednesday. And today also happens to be the day that we are celebrating women in our life globally. So it's a global celebration for us today at here on One Voice Radio, and I believe it's so for you. Women has been so important in our life. They've been so meaningful. They are actually connected to our future. Trust me, because when we give women seed and they come back with babies, producing the next generation, the next future, that's quite a lot of things for me as a person. So I do appreciate every woman that I find in my life. But you see, this morning, coming back to our concept of Mindshift Programming, I believe if you saw the topic, you'll see what I've written out there. I'm discussing this morning on what I've called aligning your art and your act. Right. Now, it's in another way me telling you about how you align, make sure your character aligns in perfect way with your gifting. One of the greatest trouble that I've seen with humanity today is that it's becoming a very dangerous part to tread upon when you see great people with great gifts, with great abilities, but are being destroyed by their actions, by their lifestyle, their character. And so that begins to weary my heart as a human being. And yes, I know none of us are perfect people, but we all work daily towards perfection. And that's one of the things that we try to achieve, even with the kind of concept of program that we do here on Mindshift Programming. Now, the idea is quite simple. Now, what is your art? Your art is your profession, your gift, everything that you know how to do. It could be your workplace, it could be you, it could be, it's just you. That creative you, that capable you, that gifted you, that multi-talented you. All those are your art. Those are your art. Those are your place where you express yourself in your creative ingenuity, in your creative working environment, in the place where you find fulfillment in doing what you do. So I would say to you that your art is your day-to-day activities. Those things that you do, your performance, okay? Your daily activities, those are your ART. Those are your art. Now, what am I trying to say by saying to you, aligning your art and your act? I'm simply saying to you that one thing that can kill a man or destroy a great man is his action. And what are those actions? We call it character, okay? Your actions are an offshoot of your character, because you acted, your behavior is who you are. So, many great people today are falling off the ladder of greatness, falling off the path where the world would have celebrated them and made them an icon to be remembered, simply because their actions is beginning to take a toll of negative impact, or making a negative impact on their personality. And that is where I get really, really worried as a person. Now, because you must understand that one of the greatest things you have to sustain you in life is your actions. Now, I follow this new, I've been following lately the Big Brother Nigeria. I comment to the story once in a while. And I stumbled into the story of one of the housemates that was disqualified, the person of Kemet. And if I take the toll, the truth is, what occurred that night or that made him get disqualified, it's not just because he was tempted that day. No, it's a result of who he is. We are all people who get weak, who get our actions are things that show up at the least expected moments. Those negative things. Now, in the book that I read a lot, it talked about allowing the little foxes to spoil your perfume. Now, it talked about how little flies, a little dead fly in a bottle of an ointment can spoil that perfume. Now, imagine me buying a perfume worth $10,000, or I mean, very expensive. Now, but it's just type that I might need to open, and suddenly it's opened, and guess what? A dead fly is found in it. Do you know that the entire smell, the beauty, the kind of smell it's supposed to produce will be contaminated because of the dead flies? So it is with our character. Now, your act, your work, your business, everything about you is what multi-billion dollars. But your simple nasty character can destroy it. So how do you ensure that your character, your actions align with your art, your business, your person? How does your profession align with your personality? And it has to come from the position of what I call character building. Now, a positive character building is key. You have to consciously come into that state of your life where you say to yourself, from this day, I want to make an effort in my life to build a positive character. I want to make an effort in my life to ensure that my good works are not tarnished by my actions, by my flaws. Those lead to weaknesses, those little weak moments that we all find. I believe there's quite a lot of news going on social media about some great people now, but the truth is, how true are those stuffs? Whether they are true or not, I'm not discussing those issues, but I'm talking to you listening to me right now. That you yourself, you have to every day with a conscious and very intentional mindset to say to yourself, I'm not going to allow me destroy me, because I say it every time there that the only person that can stop you is you. The only person that can destroy you is you. Yes, I know a lot of times a lot of young people come to me and say when they make mistake and they say it's the devil, and I say to them, there's no devil nowhere. Ain't no devil. The devil didn't take you into the house of a man who is married, and the devil did not take off your clothes. You took off your clothes. You took your legs there. The devil suggested to you, but the devil didn't ask you to do it. The devil painted. The devil is just a great marketer. He comes in and he markets an idea into your head. So it's your choice to buy. You still be the person who buy. I've never seen how the devil forces people into vices. The devil is just suggestive in his nature. And sin itself is suggestive. If I sit down today and I see a beautiful lady pass, and I begin to allow the suggestions to play in my head, and I allow it sit, the day I take action is because I've accepted it. So the fact that those things are suggested, you're not the only person who go through temptation. We all face temptation every now and then. But I want to say to you, dear friend, listen, it is key that you learn from this day to find how your actions would not tarnish your act, and how your actions would align with the right principles and character, so that will ensure that you've got a great personality and you are building a great profession for your life. I can begin to tell you stories of great people who should have emerged as world iconic legends in different sectors of their career or industry. Now, but the question is, what has really tarnished them? Now, I'm going to give you a very great typical example of musicians, those that I know. I mean, if you hear the like of, you know how many great musicians who died out of drug abuse, who died out of HIV/AIDS, who have died out of some stupid things that had no reason to kill in them. Now, the reason is because at a point in their life where they were at their peak, they allowed their actions, their character started to take a toll on them. Now, you're a great musician out there, or you're aspiring to be a great musician, and right now you're already beginning to indulge in hard drugs. You're beginning to indulge in in some kind of mischievous lifestyles. Yeah, you want to sleep with 10 women all at the same time. What do you think your end is going to look like? Now, you've got great talent, but you do not have the character to manage that talent. Now, because a great gift without good character is going to kill you. I say to people, I rather would work with people who've got character without gift, because they can learn how to be good people. They can learn a skill. And as compared to working with people who are very multi-talented, very gifted, but lack the character to maintain or carry the kind of gift that they have. Now, you're looking at me, you're listening to me wherever you are, whatever part of the world that you're in right now. All I'm saying to you in this very early morning of my show is, listen, guys, listen. The only thing that can stop your greatness is character. If you do not have the right character, it's going to destroy you. Do you want greatness? Do you want a good life? Do not allow character or your actions destroy you. Now, the next question I know somebody will be asking me, okay, fine, if I've discovered that I have bad characters, and I have characters, I have some vices that I'm beginning to allow into my life, how do I begin to build good character? It's simple. First and first is you need to come to that place of admitting that you have an error, you have a flaw. We all do. I know what my flaws are. So don't ever you sit there looking at me and thinking, oh, this guy is one perfect dude. No, I'm not. Some of us, our flaws are just anger. We get angry at little things. Some of us, our flaws is that if we do not have a quarrel with somebody in a day, we're not humans. We can't live. We must come into confrontation. Some of us are very confrontational. Some of us are, for lack of English, perhaps very opinionated, okay? So you need to understand that those things. Now, what do I call bad character? Characters become bad when they go to the extreme, all right? Now, the things you do that are right or wrong, they become a problem when they are pushed to the extreme. Are you getting what I'm saying? Some of us are very extroverted, but when your extroverted nature get into the extreme where you do not know when to keep quiet, you do not know when to be on yourself, you do not know when to refrain from some certain things that you think are what gives you joy, then there is already beginning to be a problem. Some of us are so introverted that it becomes also a problem. So whatever you do that is to the extreme is what I need you to begin from this day to take a keen look at. You need to sit inside and introspect. Now, when you introspect, it gives you an opportunity to understand and say to yourself, okay, Tony, you are doing this to the excess. No, you are overdoing this. Am I making sense to you this morning? That is one key thing that I need you to understand, that every day of your life, you must come to that point of your life where you say to yourself, I did not want to overdo this. I did not want to overstretch this nature of mine. I think this is getting to the excess. And so that's where you start. Introspection is number one. Introspect. A lot of us do not know how to introspect. A lot of people are easily conclusive in their nature of pointing the finger of their imbalanced life to another person, saying, no, it is because you are not doing your work, that's why I'm not being effective in my work. It is because you are not doing your part, that's why I'm not doing my part. It does not begin there. It begins with you looking at yourself first. What am I doing wrong? Or what actions am I taking that is causing Mr. B, who is supposed to be my partner in a business, or my partner in this project, behaving in this way? And that sets you on a pedestal where you're already beginning to align yourself to what can work. So introspection is key. Now, the next part you must take is intentional decisions. Now, what do I mean by intentional decisions? Now, when I say intentional decisions, now, I know a lot of you say, okay, decision making and intentional. What are you trying to say? Good. Now, there are a lot of us who make decisions, but they are not intentional. Now, when I say something is intentional, it is driven towards a goal. That's what I'm trying to say to you. So I am making a decision because I have an outcome in my mind. So I started by saying to you, one of the ways you watch your action so that it does not align negatively or does not work against or disalign with your act, with your profession, is, first of all, get into the stage where you introspect, okay? Get into that position where daily you introspect, you look at your life and say, okay, Tonito, what have I done well today? Okay, what is it that I could have done better? All right? And begin to make sure you take note of those part of your life and you start to work at them daily. Number two, I said, take intentional decisions. Now, when I mean intentional decisions, I mean take decisions with an expected outcome of positivity in your mind. In the sense that, listen, I know I do not, my goal every day is I do not want to do some certain things. So I make it an intentional decision to say, because of what I want to achieve, I cannot be doing this. Now I'm going to share a very typical story with you guys. I remember back in 2012, I was in India, and I just published my first book, 2030. Now, one of my friend, Victor Oluwasegun, called me all the way from US, and we had a very long Skype conversation. And he said, listen, I've seen your book, I've seen the post on Facebook and seen everything. But that's good. But Tonito, from today, make sure that your character, that your person aligns with everything you've written in your book. Now, that was key. That was quite profound for me. Why? Because what he simply said to me is, if you write about good conduct, if you write about purpose, if you write about pursuit, if you write about determination, if you write about prosperity, if you write about diligence, if you write about how to become a better you, if you write everything, whatever it is that you've written about in that book, and you are not it, then you're not going to go far in anything you do in life. Why? Because you've already created a two-dimensional human being that is not in alignment with itself. And that, from that day, became my watchword. So I ensure on a daily basis that everything I do, that me, my person, aligns with my purpose. That what I do and what I say, you do not have much prosperity. Now, if I say to you, you have to be a hard-working person. You got to work hard. You got to stay diligent. You got to stay consistent to what you believe in. And you got to creatively think ways on how to making things better for yourself. I'm not saying it to you because I read them in a book. I say them to you every day because that's who I am. That's what I do. When I say to you, it's possible you can make it, I'm saying that to you because that's what I do. I believe in it so much and I do them. So my intentional decision in becoming a better me, in allowing that my character and my actions align with my art, that they align daily with who I am becoming, is so intentional. Very, very intentional. And my intentions drives my decisions. My intentions drive my decisions to the point that when I have to come in relationship with any person, I make sure I measure it, I weigh it. This relationship, how much does it align with my plans? How much does it align? So whenever I say yes to somebody, or yes to a deal, yes to a relationship, yes to any business partnership, it's because it is driven towards the direction where my decisions are intended to be. And that's the reason why I will accept to say, okay, I'm going to go ABC miles with you. Why? Because it aligns with my intentions. And thirdly, after you've introspected and you begin to take intentional decisions, the last part I want to share with us this morning is that from today, you must endeavor one thing: to allow your character to be your judge. Yes, make sure you be the judge and the jury. And I mean to say, allow your conscience to be your judge. And how, now, that's a very, sometimes people say to me, but how do you say to somebody who doesn't even understand what you're saying for his or her conscience to judge them? Because we all believe they don't have conscience, and that's not true. Everybody's got conscience. And I'm going to teach you today how you allow your conscience to be your judge of your character. Your conscience has to become the judge of your character. How do I mean? It's quite simple. From today, stop sitting in the comfort of your person and your zone. Whenever you're going to do anything with anybody or to anybody, put yourself in that person's shoe. Alright? From the day you learn to put yourself in the shoes of that person. Now, because a lot of us are very full of ourselves, we get too consumed with ourselves, our person, what we want, our opinions, our belief, our gratifications. This is what I just want. This is about me right now. Fantastic. It's good. Now, but you see, one way that your actions, that your act would always align in positive perspective with your actions is if you learn how to wear the shoes of other people. Now, in our skill development, in practice, we call this what empathy. Now, being empathetic about people is not being pitiful. I'm not saying pity people. No, I'm saying yes. I'm trying to do something to Mr. B or Michael. I'm trying to do something to Tabo. I'm trying to do something to Label. I'm trying to do something to Johnson. Now, the question I ask myself is, if this was Johnson trying to do this to me, how will I feel about it? Yes. Now, because you see, Dr. Miles Morrow said something. He said, the day you die, one thing that is going to live with the people after they bury you is your character. Meaning your character would always live longer than you do. So when you die on the graveyard, once you are laid on the ground, when people are living, they are going to live with your character. Yes, they will live with it. In the sense that they will never forget who you are or who you were to them. So if you were someone who indeed impacted their life for good, they never will ever forget that. And if you were somebody who was nothing nasty and, oh Jesus, you were just not good enough a person with your personality, with your character, with your attitude, they are only just going to mourn you for a while. And anytime you are gone, they will say, that guy is dead now. And that's how they're just going to talk about you. So, point number one that I mentioned, that one way to begin to align your act with your act is, one, introspect. You must learn to introspect. Number two, you must learn daily to take intentional decisions that align with what you want to become, with the person, the profession that you bring up. Now, I've said this to a lot of people. I said, listen, do you know that the greatest gift Africa's got are prophets who come in form of musicians? The likes of Fela Anikulapo Kutsi, the likes of Brenda Fassie, the likes of Lucky Dube, the likes of great musicians that this continent has produced. I tell you. Now, they had the message, all right? They had the right mindset. They had the message. Now, but when we begin to break out of music and now look into their personal life, there was a flaw somewhere. There was a huge flaw somewhere. And that flaws affected the way we saw them. That flaws affected the way the kind of impact their message would have gotten. Now, I'll use one key character example, Fela Anikulapo Kutsi. I tell you, his message still lives forever. Trust me. As far as this continent and Nigeria especially is concerned. Now, but guess what? At a certain stage when Fela was with his Afro movement began. Now, because he would smoke weed, because he would do anything he felt like doing without any reason to think about what you think or how you feel about it. Now, gave a lot of parents some fear, and they didn't want their children to be associated with this person or even with his genre of music. But guess what? When you sit down and listen to Fela's lyrics, you will know it was one of the greatest prophets that Africa ever produced, that God gave to Africa. Now, at the end of the day, Fela died of HIV/AIDS. Brenda Fassie Allant died of HIV/AIDS. Lucky Dube Allant was shot, and perhaps maybe got involved in some drug deals or whatever it was. Now, but come to think of it, why would great people like that pass on or pass away in such a manner? It's because there was a problem. At a point where their fames were growing, they were not watching their actions. Now, I know today of great musicians coming from Africa that are doing great, who have been blessed through the industry, who have become multi-billionaires today. And as I speak to you, they're already getting involved with hard drugs. They're getting involved with cocaine. They're doing some crazy, nasty things. I mean, there used to be one great musician, Magic Fashek from Nigeria. Trust me, guys, listen. You, you need to understand that a lot of young people are looking up to you, whatever it is that you do. If you think you're not a star yet, you're a star to your children, you're a superstar to your children, and they're looking up to you, you're a superstar to your younger ones. They look up to you, the community is looking up to you. So it is time that you take intentional decisions with that intentional decisions will inform the kind of actions that you take. And this action is that, listen, I'm doing this because of what I want to achieve, and because I know I need to leave and become a trailblazer for the next generation to follow suit. I need to create a pathway of success for the next generation to follow. And thirdly, I talk about always allowing your conscience to be the judge of your character. And in the beat to doing that, and in a way that you can always make that happen and be real for yourself, is that you must always, always allow yourself to step into the shoes of the space of the person you're dealing with or the people you're dealing with. Now, I'll give you a very clear example. You're a governor, you're a leader, you're a political leader somewhere, and you're not serving the people you ought to be serving. Now, if you were a father who live in a community where there's no light, no food, no water, you can't pay your children's school fees, and there was another man who is a governor or who is a leader or who could be even president, are you listening to what I'm saying now? How would you feel? How exactly would you feel? So, I know the kind of structure that the democratic system of Africa has created for people in political positions. First of all, they are immune to a lot of things. They are not only immune with security, they are immune to the pain and the sufferings of the people. So perhaps you're a governor, a minister. If there's no light in anywhere, there would always be lights in your house. Why? Because there's a generator. If there's fuel scarcity, you don't feel it. Why? Because the office is meant to provide you all the things that you need to have your work and your life going for you. Now, but the people do not have access to what you have. So can you, for once, step out of yourself and be in the place, in the position of those people? Then feel and understand what people go through. Now, if you can do this, then I can say to you of a truth that definitely your art and your act will start to align. The reason why I'm saying this to you this morning is because the greatness that awaits you would only be sustained with good character. Your actions can either make you or mar you. Now, but what informs those actions? Decisions. And what informs those decisions? The inability to either introspect rightly or introspect wrongly, or not even introspect at all. So, what are you doing for yourself today? I need you from this day to begin to take a conscious decision to say to yourself, yes, I can and I will be a better me. There is a better you that it has to emerge, and that is what Mindshift Programming is here to do for you. I want to thank you. I believe I've been able to share with you. I've also been able to release to you another conscious lesson that can help build a better you. I believe today I've been able to reprogram in you and deprogram the conscious mindset that you've had, thinking that all you needed to succeed in life is good talent, great gift. Hey dude, you can get in there. The gift is nothing but an access. And that's the reason why in the book that I read, it says, the gift of a man will make way for him. Now, but that book did never told us that the gift of a man will keep him going on the way. It makes way, but what keeps you going is good character. What keeps you going is good actions, good lifestyle. All right? So, thank you for tuning in for today's podcast and broadcast on onevoiceradio.com. And it's always a pleasure to do this with you. Now, I want to seize this opportunity once again to remind you all of our forthcoming Business Reposition Expo Masterclass Edition. And it's titled The Business Process 101 Ideation. And our goal this season is to help you create your cash cow venture. Yes, it's possible you make money daily. Great businesses make money daily. I remember using the case study of Globalcom. They made money per second, all right? So if you can make money per second, that's where your great wealth begins to be built. Okay, so join me, join my team as we host you on the 25th of March here at Duffham Guest House in Randwick, Johannesburg, for the 6th edition of Business Reposition Expo, and this we begin our masterclass edition. Go to www.onevoiceradio.com now and register. Okay, just go grab your ticket. Between yesterday and now, more than 10 people have actually asked me about it, and they're already registering. So I need you to go right now and grab yourself a seat, grab yourself a ticket. Don't miss it, because part of the things we'll be releasing on that day are great new ventures that we've created for you to launch yourself into and build the next wealth and the next trend in the marketplace that Africa needs. God bless you. Thank you for being my guest this morning, and thank you for allowing me to host you on another great episode of Mindshift Programming. So we'll meet again same time, same station tomorrow. I remain your host, Tonito Samuel, the Mind Coach. Bye for now.